were in his room, I didn't take out my phone once. That was pretty good for me. That was pretty good. But I was on crack. Yesterday, Twitter was crack more than ever. I mean, because in a good way. I mean, in a good way, except crying and reading articles and tributes and pictures that people sent out. Lori of our promotions department sent out all these pictures on social media. Me and him and Jamie doing different things with Wojo. Evan posted a video of Jamie and Wojo making chili together, and it's unbelievable. So say hello to Tom and Pontiac. Good morning.
Hey, Tony. Hi, guys. I just want to tell you I'm very sorry for you guys' loss, and I've listened to you guys for a long time, and I met Jamie once, and I'm the guy next door, and it's a bad day, I'll tell you what, but I think what the other caller said is what's always going on, and I'm very sorry, Tony. So with that, God bless you guys.
Thank you, Tom.
All right.
Hey,
thank you.
So, you brought up faith. Are you a believer? You believe in heaven? I do. He told me he regretted not getting that test. Get a test, people. That's what he wants.
Yeah,
that's his legacy.
And we'll somehow do something as a station, I'm sure, down the road. It's so important, and I understand there are some insurance companies that are, our health insurance won't cover it, but it's worth it. You're out of pocket, and it's not that big of a deal. So you sit on the John for a night, just crap yourself away. It's a lot better than the alternative. Let me tell you that, because when you get it at a young age, it is much more aggressive. He found out he was already it's stage 4. You look up what stage 4 is. The fact that he was able to be with us, and more importantly, be with his family for 19 months, basically, after getting to stage 4, is incredible. It lasted a lot longer than most people would believe. I mean, we never knew. You hear stage 4, because he was with. Here's the one thing, and before we break, that I want to say, and it's so true, and that's what makes it maybe more shocking to us. He was never your prototypical cancer patient. You see cancer patients a lot who struggle and go through a long decay. He disappeared so healthy to us most of the time, just till the very, very end. And he was able to do things, go to games like we talked about earlier, run 2 miles on July 4th, play tennis, do those things.
I didn't know. I had no clue that it was this bad until what you told me last week. He's the strongest person I've ever known.
Mm-hmm.
He, like I said, his passing, I believe this with all my heart, was so that other people would get tested. Somebody out there is going to get diagnosed with stage 1 cancer, colon cancer, and they're going to live because of what he had to say last month.
I agree. 97.1. We'll take it.
Help Mother Waddles to help those in need by donating your car. Your car donation to Mother Waddles will provide food and shelter to the poorest of the poor. Call Mother Waddles today and change a life. Call 313-WADDLES.
It's here! It's really here! Better prices! I can't believe it! Finally! More choice!
Michigan Auto Reform is here, and that means more choices for personal injury protection. With Allstate, you can lower your costs, not your standards. We'll help you navigate your needs, along with your budget. There's no better time to get a quote from Allstate. Click or call today.
Subject to terms, conditions, availability, and coverage selected. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Businesses are starting to bounce back. But what if you could do better than that? What if you could adapt, deliver, and succeed in new ways with new customers? At Comcast Business, we're committed to helping you not just bounce back, but bounce forward. That's why we're offering powerful and reliable internet, and voice. Now for only $35 each a month when you buy both and sign up for EcoBill and AutoPay with a 2-year agreement. It'll help you stay ahead with a network you can count on. Stay connected with 24/7 support and thrive with flexible solutions that work wherever you are. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go online today to find out more. Comcast Business. Offer ends 8/21/2020. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 35 megabits internet and 1 voice mobility line. Early termination fee applies. Enrollment in EcoBill and AutoPay required. Equipment installation taxes and fees extra. Subject to change.
There's nothing like meeting face-to-face, and there's nothing like Zoom to make that happen. Zoom lets you connect and do business across town or around the world. Zoom ties together all of your communication needs into one easy platform for video conferencing, phone calls, group chat, webinars, and your conference rooms. Connect easily from anywhere, your mobile phone, your laptop, or conference room. Zoom is how business gets done. Get your free account at Zoom.com today. Meet happy with Zoom.
I like a bed that's really firm.
I need something a little softer than that. Rest easy. With the Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed, you can both adjust your comfort with your Sleep Number setting.
Can it really help me fall asleep faster?
It senses your movements and automatically adjusts to keep you effortlessly comfortable. Sleep Number, proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. It's our weekend special. Save up to $500 on select Sleep Number 360 Smart Beds, plus special financing and free premium delivery on most beds when you add a base. Ends Monday. Learn more at sleepnumber.com. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
What's hot for business this week at Staples?
Small prices, big savings.
Help your business go big with everything you need at amazing prices.
From office essentials like paper and ink to health essentials like masks and hand sanitizer.
This week at Staples, 8-ounce hand sanitizer is just 2 for $5.
Shop in-store, pick up curbside, or get free delivery.
Save big this week at Staples.
Ends 8/8/20 while supplies last. Limits vary online. Curbside available in most stores. Free delivery, limited time only. See staples.com for details.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents Doug.
Check it out, Limo. Got a brand new motorcycle jacket and matching leather pants. Now let's go for a ride and tell everyone that Liberty Mutual customizes their motorcycle insurance. So you only pay for what you need. Oh my gosh, this leather does not breathe well. You can't suffocate leather, can you? Liberty, 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 liberty. Get a customized quote at libertymutual.com.
This hour of instant feedback brought to you by Mike Pecora of National Benefit Plans. For affordable life insurance, log on to nbphealth.com.
The only way you can take 97.1 The Ticket with you is the radio.com app. Download it today and listen to us anytime, anywhere. Brought to you by the LaFontaine Automotive Group, the family deal.
Jamie and Stoney Show. Obviously a special sad edition of this program. Jamie passing away Saturday night, the effects of colon cancer. We got some amazing texts here. We'll get to phone calls too in a second. Here's some of the texts. The telephone number is 248-539-9797. Jamie is the Kobe loss for Detroit. We're still all thinking about the Ticket family. Lost my mom when I was 17 to colon cancer. Stay strong. His memory lives forever. Rest in complete peace. That's big love. This guy's been a woo with us as a listener for a long time. I certainly hope I live my life in a way that people talk about me the way you all talk about Jamie when I'm gone. I'm sad for all of you, especially Stoney and Mojo. That's from the Doughboy. The Doughboy had a loss in his life a few years ago as well. Thanks for all the support. I know Jamie always enjoyed you. Let's see. Amazing way of intellectually connecting social, sports, news, and all other dots in a way that made the complex so obvious, yet the listener never felt stupid. Such a talent. No doubt about it. And Jamie was our voice of reason. He always seemed so calm and confident. Meeting him a few times along the way, he always made you feel like you've always known him. It's been a long time since I've shed a tear, but was instantly overcome with grief when I found out. Much love to the 97.1 Ticket family. It makes my commute to and from University of Michigan Hospital easier every morning and night. God bless his family and friends along this process. There'll be another one. There will never be another one like him. And that's from Jim and Luke.
Stoney, I know, obviously obviously we're just naturally reacting here to everything. We did talk yesterday, and we do want to make this a celebration of his life.
Yes.
As sad as we all are, we do want to have some laughs this morning. And, you know, it's hard to do that because we knew him so well.
Right.
I just, you know, we do encourage people to call us. You know, we need some help this morning.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to get through this, but we do want to be, you know, if you met Jamie and you have a special, unique story, tell us, you know. I mean, when I first started working with you guys, he was as welcoming to me as all of you have said. We used to, back at the old garage at DFN, they brought in this Bubble Boy hockey. And so I would produce the midday show, and Jamie was doing mornings at that time. And every break leading up to, I'd be prepping for my show, and he was in break for his show. He'd come out and we'd play these games of Bubble Boy. He was like, always like, how'd you get so good at this? And I'm like, I lived in hockey rinks when I was younger. Okay, so it's one thing I'm good at. He was always so encouraging to me. When he took over the show in 2016, he sat me down and he's like, look, if we're going to get along, you got to calm down a little bit. And no, some of the best advice I've ever gotten. And, you know, he was always so fair to me. Encouraged me to come in with my raw emotion and raw opinions. And I'll never forget, you know, when the 2016 election was going and Heather was pretty new. And I liked that news segment. We went toe to toe politically. And then we went to break and we started laughing. It's like, that was pretty intense, wasn't it? Yeah. You know, he didn't hold a personal grudge. Even in some of the most passionate arguments, he was always so fair to me. And just one more story. So when I was an intern at DFN, the Wings won the cup in '98. The parade was going on, and he's like, I don't feel like walking there, and I have nowhere to park. Can you give a couple of us a ride? So him and I think it was Greg Henson and might have been Glenn LeGroux. I'm not sure who it was. They hopped in the back of my Ford Ranger that I just got, and I drive them down to the parade. You gotta realize, I've been at the station in this business. I'm still in college for about a month, and I'm like, holy crap.
I'm driving Jamie Sanders.
Yeah, I'm driving these guys to a Red Wings parade. This is insane. Is this what I'm getting into? So welcoming and so, what a normal thing to do, you know? Just awesome.
One story, there's so many, but it was, you mentioned Greg Henson. Me, Wojo, Greg, and Jamie went on a whitewater rafting excursion early in our tenure. We went to some place in Pennsylvania and West Virginia. It was a 2-day thing. We stayed in a cabin, whatever. And driving down, myself, I did more of it, but Jamie did too. We'd listen to AM radio, and we'd call talk shows, and just, like, we knew they weren't on delay. We'd curse. We'd ask stupid questions. We would just F with we just had so much fun together. And we went to Philly for a Lions-Eagles game. And we were there for the weekend. And Jamie, as you know, is a big college basketball. And you know me with my Philly, I think the Palestra is like the greatest place. So we tried to go to the show in the Palestra. And it was basically closed. So we hopped over a fence and kind of like peeked in, tried to sneak in, and we sunk into the Palestra.
Yeah, and I never knew that. And the great thing about Jamie was that he could kind of categorize like what he had in common with different people and keep it within those things. So I'll tell a story. You talked about him, and he had a raw sense of humor and would make jokes that would really cross the line. So former Washington defensive tackle Dexter Manley was diagnosed with COVID a couple months ago. So it was just a text between me, Glenn LeGroux, and Jamie. We always made Dexter Manley jokes, and he said something. Jamie said something like, I feel so bad that Dexter has 19 COVID. And if you don't know, get the joke.
Right.
Oh, well.
Right. Should we explain the joke?
No, we shouldn't, because that's how Jamie was. He just, he knew how to get to communicate with certain people about certain things. He knew what he had in common with certain people and what he didn't with certain people.
Okay, you mentioned his sense of humor, all right? I'll say this. I don't care about anything right now.
As long as you don't swear today.
I'm not swearing. To honor Jamie, we're not doing this, but just this is Jamie's humor. To honor Jamie, put it on a Twitter poll. A, vote for Biden. B, get a colonoscopy. 248-539-9797.
Where'd that come from?
I don't know. Because that's something that we would say off the air. There's no doubt about it.
That's not an option. He would say colonoscopy.
I know. Let's go to Joe in Chesterfield. You're 97.
Good morning. Hey, I just wanted to give my deepest condolences to you guys because, first of all, I don't have any super funny stories, Jamie. I only know him from listening on the radio. But as I was telling your screener, listeners, much like myself, I've listened to you guys for a very, very long time. But when we tune in each and every day, radio personalities like yourself, we don't know, I don't know you, in person. I didn't know Jamie. But, you come into our lives and that voice that we hear every morning or every afternoon or every evening, you feel like you do know that person, and it becomes a part of your everyday life, and it becomes a part of what you do, and that person's voice and their quirks and their personality, that's just part of your life now, right? So you do feel as if you lose a friend or you lose a family member. I obviously, I listened when you guys had Jamie on, and it was devastating to hear. But again, none of us really knew the extent of it, nor should we have, because although you are, on the air, you guys have a personal life too, right? And I think people need to respect that. But my family and I were camping this weekend down in Indiana, and I pulled up Facebook and I saw the news on Saturday night, and it's hard. It's a surreal feeling when somebody who you feel is, like I said, somebody who you feel is part of a family, when you get that news, and I'm so sorry to hear that, and for Christy and the rest of the immediate family and yourselves, like I said, deepest condolences, and I give you guys a whole hell of a lot of credit for doing what you're doing this morning, because I can tell you, if I lost a best friend, it would take everything in my power to put the game face on and do what you're doing. So love you guys, and for Jamie, keep doing what your guys are doing, and spread the message about colonoscopies, because it means a whole hell of a lot. It really does.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Joe, you did know him.
Yeah.
No. It wasn't, Joe, I just want to say it wasn't an act. And some of this business is an act. I've never worked in this business with three more real people in my life. You knew Jamie, you knew him fully, and he loved you guys.
Absolutely. And look, there's no playbook to tell you how to act when you have cancer. And, some people, he said, private, some people keep stuff private, some people don't. There's no right or wrong. Our telephone number is 248-539-9797. Celebrating the life of the great one, the big-headed kid. God, listen so much already. I just need a ticket.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by T-Mobile. 75 northbound just after 9 Mile. An accident has just been cleared from the area, although backups continue from at least 8 Mile. Now that T-Mobile and Sprint have merged, T-Mobile's network is not only bigger, it's better than ever. T-Mobile has added more towers, more engineers, and more coverage. So now you don't have to choose between an amazing network and amazing prices, Detroit. At T-Mobile, you get both. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
Text the ticket now. Ticket text 248-539-9797.
This is Boomer Esiason with Radio.com Sports Minute. Loyal listeners know that I've long expressed concern for college college athletes who have no union looking out for their best interest. University athletic directors, coaches, school presidents, conferences, and the NCAA all, by and large, are only interested in the revenues these athletes can generate. So it was kind of refreshing to see a group of Pac-12 football players take advantage of the rare leverage the COVID-19 pandemic has given them to put together a list of demands covering their health and safety, economic rights, compensation, and social justice. Now, I may not agree with some of their demands, but many are valid. However, that's besides the point. The key is that they are standing up together for their own welfare, folks. Meantime, last night, Washington State's new coach may have done one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. Nick Rolovich reportedly told those Cougar players involved with the threatened opt-out to clean out their lockers. Totally wrong response, Coach. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Oil change coming up? We can help you out. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Pennzoil high mileage motor oil and an STP oil filter for just $27.99. And if you need it fast, we can help you get it fast. Whether it's at home with our next day delivery or in store and curbside with our free same day pickup. The choice is yours. Getting the job done just got easier. Be sure to the details at AutoZone.com.
When it comes to flooring options for the pro, no one covers floors better than the Home Depot. With over 300,000 flooring supplies online and in-store, plus in-demand styles, from modern mosaics to waterproof vinyl and laminates. We buy more than anyone else, so you'll save more than anywhere else, with everyday low prices and even bigger savings when you purchase by the pallet. The pro's best option when it comes to flooring. The Home Depot. How doers get more done. U.S. only.
At Getty's, we believe in challenging the garment industry's status quo by making high-quality, timeless apparel right here in Michigan. Rather than outsourcing cheap labor, we built the Getty's factory to invest in the people that make clothing. Our luxury made-in-the-USA fabrics, combined with a Michigan manufacturing team, help create the softest and most durable clothing possible. Come visit our new Eastern Market store or visit gettys.us and enter code 97.1 at checkout to receive 20% off your first order. Getty's, American Essentials built to last. By the people, for the people.
And now, another stroke of genius from Genesis Credit Union. Today, Genius Flex Home Equity. I'm no remodeling guru, so I built a relationship with Genesis Credit Union. Their Flex Home Equity works like a variable interest credit line, but allows a lock-in to convert outstanding balances to a fixed-rate home equity loan. With 28 locations and 30,000 ATMs, stop by or check us out at genesiscu.org. That's genius. That's Genesis. Equal housing opportunity. Annual percentage rate is tied to the prime rate and based on credit qualifications.
The Hoedown is back. One night, one show, decades of hits. Throwback Hoedown presented by your Metro Detroit Ram Truck Dealers. Starring Garth Brooks, Blake Shelton, Eric Church, Midland, Rodney Atkins, Cole Swindell, Ashley McBride, Brad Paisley, Maren Morris, Brothers Osborne, Kelsey Ballerini, Luke Combs, Big and Rich, and Rascal Flatts perform for their farewell tour. Saturday, August 22nd in your backyard and live on 99.5 YCD starting at 5 p.m. Throw the best party of the summer listening to the Throwback Hoedown presented by your Metro Detroit Ram Truck Dealers.
Hey, this is Mike Sullivan, and we all like to go out and have fun. I sure do. But when it comes to drinking and driving, that's something I just won't do. It's so easy to call an Uber or Lyft, so that's what I usually do, and it makes everyone else on the road safer. This message brought to you by the Michigan Office of Highway Safety Planning.
When big things happen in Detroit sports, you hear it first on Detroit's #1 sports station, 97.1 The Ticket. Breaking news powered by Radio.com Sports and brought to you by Pennzoil. Motor oils from natural gas. The proof is in the Pennzoil. The names you trust. The teams you love.
Was my work wife. She was my work wife.
Yeah.
And besides that, being friends with him 25 years.
Well, I had talked about when I first started working with him, and I never worked directly with Jamie until this show on a day-by-day basis. But we crossed paths all the time and loved each other and respect each other. But I said this last Friday, and I just want to say it again. I wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for him. And there's other people I can say about that too, but he's part of that. That when I went back to college, I was a loser dropout from Western, got my act together, went back to Eastern, and I would sit in the parking lot before my classes when it was my sophomore year and listen to him in the afternoons, and especially just the Lion stuff with Wayne Fonts and all that, and it made me desire to do this and drive get into this business because he was so great at what he did, and he made it seem like so much fun and gave me the courage to try to pursue it.
And the show where he, became loved more than any was show at DFN, and there's one ticket text I'm going to read here. The very first local sports show I ever listened to was when JB was on with 3G in the afternoon. I had to be like 18 years old. Right now, I'd love to put cancer in the Jackass Hall of Fame. You suck, you jackass!
Now that's the kind of stuff we're looking for today, because I forgot about that, and those are the things that made me want to get into this. I'm him, basically. Maybe I was a couple years older.
Right, exactly. We do want to point out that we've had some requests to play Jamie's appearance on the show last week. I don't think that's appropriate right now, but you can find it on our website on the conference page if you want to hear that. Let's go to Max calling us from the nation's capital. What's up, Max?
Hey guys.
How are you?
Well, it's sad, obviously. I'm sorry for everybody's lost the station. I know you guys meant a lot to Jamie, and I want to say thanks for supporting him over the last 19 months. I've been Jamie's friend for 31 years. We met freshman year in college at Northwestern, and he was a great guy from the moment I met him. He never changed. And I know all his friends from college are just devastated, so it's a sad day. But I do have a good story to tell.
Oh, good, please.
In college, Jamie and I were roommates with 3 other guys, and he interned at a Chicago radio station, and they did morning sports reports. They didn't do morning sports reports on Saturdays for some reason. So on Friday night, they would get tickets to the games because they had tickets to every game, but they didn't need them. And they gave him the Friday night tickets to a Bulls game. This is the Jordan Bulls, And he comes back to the apartment, says, I got 2 tickets for the Bulls game tonight. Who wants to go? And I was the only one there. So I said, let's go. And we went, and they were press packs. I was just tickets. And we got the whole spread, we had dinner there, hung out with the other reporters. We were on the first row, on the floor, watching the game. Jordan was inbounding, after balls went out of bounds, and I could have touched him. I was that close. And then during the game, Jamie said, if you want to, we could go into the locker room. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So he handed me a little pad of paper, one of those tiny ones that reporters carry around, or they did back then, and a pen. And he said, pretend you're from Atlanta, because I'd recognize all the Chicago reporters. And I stood next to Jordan in the locker room while he was giving the post-game interviews. I was 2 feet away from him for 20 minutes. And Jamie stood in the back and let me have all the, cool experiences that day. And it's a tell your grandparents moment, or tell your grandkids moment for me, because I can talk about meeting Michael Jordan. And it was all because Jamie, was generous and thought about his friends and let me have more of the experience than what he had that day.
Now,
that was a good story to tell.
Did you love seeing Jamie and his big head in The Last Dance? That's the big question.
Oh, yeah, that was really fun. He texted all of us. You guys might know he played the card tournament with us every year.
Okay.
One weekend every year. It was the best weekend of the year. We just laughed at our sides or teasing each other. And he was very good at ribbing, very clever and funny guy. Sometimes you hear about how nice somebody is and you think, well, that means they're boring. He was very nice, but also very fun because of his intellect and sense of humor.
And his dark sense of humor. I loved his dark, not quite as long as you, but his dark sense of humor. They call it, black humor, so to speak. And it was the best. All right, hey Max, one thing we just want to say for you right now, because you're a longtime friend.
Go Cats.
Go Cats.
All right.
All right, thanks, Max.
Yeah.
That's college friends are just the best, and my college friends My best friends from college, they listen every morning now that the app came out. And they're devastated. They don't even really know Jamie.
Yeah, I know. We got this ticket text kind of ties to that. I've listened to Jamie for years, but during COVID, I've listened every single morning. It was something I look forward to each and every day. I live in Charleston, South Carolina. I'm from Howell, Michigan. And he made me feel so much closer to home. He was the bridge that connected South Carolina to Michigan. And I just wanted to say something about the COVID thing. And it's been something I probably struggle with more than anything. My son right now, my oldest 10-year-old, is in the wheelhouse years of sports. Like yesterday, he was wanting to sit down and watch a doubleheader. Why is it 7 innings? You know, all these things that just a new sports fan that's starting to get into it's asking and wanting to do. And I haven't been able to take him to games, and that stinks. I feel awful. I know Jamie, if there was one thing he could have done, it's take his son.
One last game, yeah, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the NBA season was paused before the Warriors came in, and I know Curry, I think, was going to play, and they had that bond.
Well, on that note too, life is funny.
Yeah,
he spontaneously, him and Christy, surprised their kids a couple years ago with a trip to Disney. Do it when you can do it.
Yeah.
In hindsight, I mean, how beautiful is that? That him and Christy, they totally pulled their kids out of school. Christy takes them out of school, or they don't go to school that day. They come here to the station at 10 o'clock, and they tell their kids, and we saw it.
Yeah.
We're going to Disney World. That's magical, you know? I mean, I had that right?
Yeah.
I mean, do you remember that? It was just a couple years ago.
Yeah.
It was just do it while you can do it, because you never know what's going to happen.
All right, our telephone number is 248-539-9797. Ticket text is the same number. Real quick, one more text, and we have T.O.'s update. I'm a 45-year-old man. I've never cried over the death of a celebrity or someone I didn't know. That was until last night. Jamie's passing hit me hard. I started my career 25 years ago at the same time he started on WDFN. I definitely felt a connection to this great man. This is Brian on his way to work. Well, Brian, you are correct. Jamie Samuelson was a great man. And by the way, our buddy Wojo is trending. That shows you the power of Jamie and the power of Wojo's columns. I mean, you want to read something, you read Wojo this morning. You won't be crying. You won't have a dry eye.
Yeah, I'm glad he posted that. They posted that last night instead of today, because I was able to read it and get through it emotionally, and it's just ridiculously written with raw passion and love.
97.1.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. A radio.com sports station. Sports headlines all day, every day. From the Sold by YC Sports Desk, this is 97.1 The Ticket.
This update is powered by National Benefit Plans. The Tigers fall back to the 500 mark after they get swept by the Cincinnati Reds in a doubleheader that took place yesterday at Comerica Park. The Reds win the opener 4-3, then shut out the Tigers in Game 2 4-0. Former Tiger Nick Castellanos with a pair of home runs to lead Cincinnati's offensive attack in that Game 1 victory. The Tigers now playing the waiting game as they'll see if a 4-game series against the St. Louis Cardinals will actually happen after multiple St. Louis players reportedly tested positive for the coronavirus over the weekend. Here's Cardinals GM John Mozeliak.
We do expect word later today. That definitely will be really our next level of the GPS on what to follow. So once we get that, we'll know what next steps to take. So our fingers are crossed.
That clip comes courtesy of MLB Network Radio. Workouts will officially begin later today for the Lions as training camp reaches its second week at the team's complex in Allen Park. Wide receiver Geronimo Allison becomes the second Lions player to officially opt out of the 2020 season after he announces he's going to do so on Sunday due to his concerns about the coronavirus. Xavier Tillman makes it official yesterday. He's decided to forego his senior season at Michigan State and will keep his name in this year's NBA draft. Meanwhile, Aaron Henry confirmed Sunday he'll return to Michigan State for his junior season and has withdrawn his name from the NBA draft. Winners from the NBA on Sunday, the Nets, Celtics, Spurs, Rockets, and Suns. In the NHL, the winners yesterday were the Wild, the Blue Jackets, the Avalanche, the Flyers, and the Coyotes. From the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Tony Ortiz. For more, stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and radio.com.
Jamie and Stoney on 97.1 The Ticket.
Thank you very much, T.O. Celebrating Jamie Samuelson with you. We're here for you, and believe me, you're here for us. It's been a rough 36 hours, if I have my math correct. Right around that time, when we found out. It's kind of weird. We were at the Station Golf Alley, and by the way, Gator, his partner, they win. I did have a skin. I chipped in for a birdie. Par 5, a 4 for a 2. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, other than that, I shot 103 on the side. Anyway, and Jeff Rieger, I don't know if you saw, Evan posted it, and I take it down. Rieger flipped over a car.
What?
Yeah, he was driving a cart on, like, it was on the 17th hole, and he spun out, and there's a picture. Evan maybe will text it to you because we had to take it down, and it's so Rieger. Anyway, so after the golf tournament, we are sitting at the veranda, for a lack of a better word, patio, having some drinks, chicken wings, things like that. Having a great time. And it was time to announce the winners of the awards, the skins. And of course, Dan Leach was given the job of being the MC. So he welcomes everybody, says one thing, and then that was a little, maybe too much to drink. I don't know. I don't remember, but I said before you get going, Dan, can I ask everybody here to raise a glass for Jamie? He's fighting this thing, and whatever. I guess about 20 minutes later, if not less, Wojo calls. And I thought he was calling to say, you know, I'm not coming, because he was thinking of coming in like he did last year, but it was raining. So, phone rings, it says, Wojo, what's up? And he tells me he just got off the phone with Krista and Jamie passed away. So, and this was not the public yet, so I had to tell Jimmy, and everybody was, you know golfing under the course all day, beers, whatever. Everybody's in a great mood, so to speak. So I told Jimmy. And there we go. And then I called you guys. And so anyway, long story short, before we get to Greg Hargrave, who wants to say some words here. So that toast took place. We figured out. And me and Evan, later in the day, when we met at Wojo's, because Jamie passed away, Wojo said at 6:45, which was within 3 or 4 minutes of when I made the toast for Jamie. It's like, I mean,
I know we talked off the air, and
you know me, I don't believe in a lot of that stuff. That is just.
I do probably more than you.
Oh yeah,
and
most people do more than me.
I told you off the air, and it's time to share it with the listeners that I honestly believe he divinely waited until the perfect time. It's very helpful for us and a little bit easier to do this, that we've had a day to digest this. Like you, I didn't go to the golf outing, and I actually used some of the wisdom Jamie has shared with me, just that you can't say yes to everything. And I was feeling extremely overwhelmed last week, not only with this, but very busy in life. Not only doing the show with you last week, but also lots of baseball, and I decided not to go out to the outing, and so we had been out.
Plus, it's like 6 hours from your house.
Yeah. And I got home, and we got settled, and it was like just the right timing. But I will say this, it was right at 8 o'clock. And Wojo called me, and when I saw his number, I knew that it wasn't good.
Greg Hargrave has been producing this show for a long, long time. Obviously, Jamie was not part of it from the get-go. It was our buddy Bill McAllister and Sarah. But Greg and Jamie always had a special bond.
You know what, Stoney, you say it that, and you're right, it was a special bond, and I don't know what it was, and I didn't know what to say last week, and I was kind of struggling with the way to how to tell him. You know, I talked to my wife about it, and he said write a letter to him, and so I wrote him a letter, I put it in the mail, and then I think now that I can talk a little more about what he means to me. Like, Jamie had just such a strength of character about him that wasn't something he overly said or touted, and you could tell that was such like a rock at his foundation, and just his character. I think you could tell that he had, you know, a strong faith about him, and you know, it was just a special kinship that it's tough, you know, putting into words, and you know, there's little things that we bonded over, like our quasi-obsession with Jim Nantz or Final Four teams or Star Trek 2 or
when you go to Ann Arbor
Yeah.
and he'd ask you about they have footballs.
Yes, exactly. Like, there are so many things that, like, I remember counting these things, and then I realized, oh, there was this too, and then, oh, there was this too. You know, I was struck by reading all of the tributes to him on social media, and I was up to like 1 a.m. on Saturday night reading all of the tributes to him, and you know what struck me was that every one of them had the same characteristics and the same kind of points to them, but they were all different, and everybody had their interaction with Jamie in their own different way, and I just think that's what made it so special. Like, there was things that, you know, I can relate to that I saw someone had posted, and like, yeah, I remember that too. And you know what was so amazing too about Saturday night was, Stoney, Tom, think about the people that reached out to you when Jamie passed away.
Yeah.
And it was just so amazing to me. Like, I mean, who am I? I'm not anybody special, man.
You're very special. I mean, come on.
It was unbelievable. My phone Saturday night, and I tried answering everything. I told a couple people before it went public. I was very guarded against saying anything until it got out there in respect for Christy and the kids. And I hate saying just the kids. I want to say their names: Josh, Caroline, and Catherine. What they're going through. I do know that Wojo told me that, you know, obviously it's hit them hard, but just pray for them, please. Yes. And Greg, I know that you had a special bond with him. The geek factor was something that I would just sometimes sit back and just watch and laugh at, because and you guys you would go to town and I just sit there in awe. And then like the one thing I strive for, because you guys were so great at listing all the Final Fours and who's participated in them and
what locations.
Yeah, that you hated the court, the new courts. The Robo Court, you know, because they have no personality like they used to with it was just awesome to watch from afar.
Yeah, and look, going back to how everybody reached out to you, I mean, think of that. That is a gift that Jamie gave to you and it gave to us. Yeah. That people were thinking of us because of him. And just, I don't know, there's just so many platitudes that I thought of, like, between Saturday night and now. Like, you know, the love and the respect and the joy that you see that are coming, you know, towards him and his passing and towards his family, that's just reflective of that love and that joy and that character that he reflected outwards towards everybody. And
yes,
you know, it's just a lesson to, you know, people will return your emotions, and that's just what is so evident in Jamie's case. You know, he won at life because he didn't try to win at life. He was so giving and so selfless for everybody else, whether that's me, anybody who else who worked at this station, you guys. It's just
What he did,
was just boundless.
What he did last Monday took everything out of him, energy-wise, that day. And all I can say is for everybody to literally take his message and his legacy, despite all the stuff that he accomplished on the air and affecting everybody, is that he wants people to get colonoscopies. That at 45, even 40, if your insurance covers it.
And just another thing about his character, I was thinking about this, and just he was everything opposite of what this business tends to be. Like he was sports radio counterculture. This is an industry of blustery hot takes, and he was the thinking man.
Yeah, exactly.
He was so thinking and not emotive. It's an industry of egos, and he was egoless, and just he was the opposite of everything. So I wouldn't say everything, but sometimes what this industry can be, and he was the opposite of that.
I mean, there's so many people out there who are just bombastic for the sake of being bombastic. Some are bombastic because that's their personality. Fire every single human being on the planet. That wasn't Jamie. That's, you know, when we got paired together, I mean, excuse me, knowing him for so long, there are some things, you know, because we agree on a lot of things. There was never that, for the most part, that back and forth debate that always takes place because, you know, Jamie more than me, but basically nice people. You know, sit there and rip. You can't do that.
I mean, even just think about, like, and this just hit me, that we all got to work together again, you know?
Yeah, I know.
And that's no knock on anybody else more than just the gift of having that before he passed. You know, I think for you, and that Wojo got to work with him as well in the evenings.
Yes.
You know?
Absolutely. Let's go to, I believe this is Kevin here, 97 on the ticket. What's up, Kev?
Hey, Tony, it's Kev. How are you, man?
Good, thank you.
I just got to tell them driving in this morning to call in. You and Jamie and Theo and Heather and Greg and everyone have been a huge part of my time in Detroit, understanding the passion behind all the sports, college, pro. As I told you on text, last year or so, my father passed away of colon cancer at 60, was diagnosed at 55, and if Tim's legacy was to encourage people to get tested, I'm going to be one of the first. I talked to my doctor yesterday. I'm 36. Even though my father was diagnosed at 55, I've been continuously told 40 and 40 and 40. And this was it for me. I mean, I was just, very emotional about it. And I feel for you guys, patients, and, it's in the works. So I'm going to be one of the first to follow his advice. And I appreciate you guys for everything you do.
Kevin, thank you. And God bless. We appreciate what you do for us as well. Kevin, by the way, thanks, Kev, is like a personal assistant to Matt Patricia and some of the Lions folks. And the Lions, excuse me, and all the other teams, like I mentioned, and the colleges have just been unbelievably generous with the words and their actions. The scoreboard at the Comerica Park yesterday, the moment of silence, and Jeff Blashiall's tweet was unbelievable. I mean, I'm going to read that coming back next, because Jeff Blashiall's tweet summed up Jamie better than a lot of people have.
Yeah, and it's unbelievable just like how well he just nailed it. I just wanted to give a shout to the Tigers too. I dealt with some people behind the scenes yesterday. Stan Fracker was responsible for getting that message on the board and had asked me, some specifics that needed to be known, and I just want to say thank you.
Yeah, it was that organization has been great throughout this. All right, our telephone number is 248-539-9797.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by Stratus Building Solutions. The roads are accident-free this morning, but there is some standing water affecting the 94 westbound exit to Woodward. Trust Stratus Building Solutions of Detroit for over 14 years. Cleaning is what they do. They work with companies like Intercom Detroit to disinfect. Before your company goes back to work, let Stratus come and deep clean your building. Call 313-960-4737. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
The only way you can take 97.1 The Ticket with you is the radio.com app. Download it today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
Did you start 2020 with the goal of buying or selling a home? Hi, I'm Mark Z with eXp Realty. While the current situation has halted many things in your life, achieving that goal does not have to be one of them. The real estate market here in Metro Detroit is on fire. If you're looking to get your home sold, call me, Mark Z, today and start packing.
DTE wants you to use less energy and save more. Water heating alone consumes about 90% of the energy it takes to operate a clothes washer. So increase efficiency by washing in cold water and cleaning the filter on your dryer after each load. To get more tips, qualify for rebates, recycle appliances, or shop for discounts on energy-efficient products, go to dteenergy.com/saveenergy and see how easy it is to save. DTE.
Our homes today are like little cities full of different interneting boroughs, like the entertainment district in the living room, or the virtual fitness center in the garage. And Xfinity Internet keeps it all running smoothly with the fastest speed to power all your devices at once. You get coverage around town, from the financial district home office to the spa. Plus, get added protection to help keep your Wi-Fi network safe, like an at-home police station.
Xfinity Internet keeps your little city humming with reliable speed, coverage, and added security. Now that's simple, easy, awesome. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $25 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. You'll get advanced security free with the XFi Gateway. Plus, ask about XFi Complete for whole home Wi-Fi, unlimited data, and more. Go online, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 8/11/20. Restrictions apply. New performance starter internet 25 megabits per second customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed.
I filled this pickup at BP with Amoco Ultimate. We'll go up to 25 miles further per tank on the highway than with regular fuel.
Up to 25 miles?
Yep, we're gonna make it.
We're gonna make it.
I just said
we're gonna make it.
Drive up to 25 miles further per tank with Amoco Ultimate with Invigorate. Available at BP and Amoco stations. Based on median difference between 93 octane Amoco Ultimate and 87 octane minimum detergent E10 fuels and link model full-size half-ton pickup trucks using EPA highway driving cycle. Assumes 100% of fuel and tank will be used. Results will vary based on what you drive, how you drive, and other factors.
Want a fancy steakhouse quality steak that you can grill to perfection at home? JJ's Prime Steaks and Cheesecakes, a Michigan-born local company, supports local farmers and provides you with USDA all-natural choice and prime top cuts, as well as chicken, pork, seafood, and their amazing cheesecakes. Order at jjsteaks.com and it's delivered free next day to your home safely. For a limited time, for the first 200 people, order our amazing choice pack. Type in the coupon code radio and get 3 pounds of marinated chicken breast and one of our famous homemade cheesecakes at no extra charge. jjsteaks.com.
Morning.
How'd you get in my house, see?
Through the air conditioning vent. It's dark in there.
Go away.
How about some Honey Nut Cheerios?
Cheerios. Do I look like a child to you?
Honey Nut Cheerios are tasty and can help lower cholesterol as part of a heart-healthy diet. Did you just
No.
I'm pretty sure I heard a
It was my dryer.
You might want to get that thing checked out.
Have a change of heart. Honey Nut Cheerios. Learn more about Honey Nut Cheerios by picking up a box at your local store. I absolutely love my dog, but the constant shedding, not so much. But then I got a Swiffer Sweeper Pet Kit, and it is amazing. These super thick cloths pick up a crazy amount of hair. Just look at all that. And that was from just one swipe. And the best part? Sweeper's so much easier to maneuver than a broom or a vacuum, easily getting around chairs and under the couch. You're right. Now I can focus on you, not your shedding. Swiffer Sweeper Pet Kit. Because shed happens.
Indeed knows that for any business, your next step is the most important one, like hiring someone who can make a real impact. Indeed can help you find high-impact hires faster, without any long-term contracts, and you pay only for what you need, thanks to our super flexible payment options. So why not take that next step with Indeed? Get started with a free $75 credit for your first job post and get in front of more quality candidates. Go to Indeed.com/high-impact. That's Indeed.com/high-impact. Terms and conditions apply.
From muscle pain, body aches, to strains, Blue Emu Maximum Arthritis. It works fast and you won't stink. Its unique formula with emu oil penetrates deep to relieve arthritis pain, sore muscles, joints, and more.
To see contest rules for 97.1 The Ticket contests, go to 97onetheticket.com and click on the Contests tab.
A station where your opinion matters.